Yep, that's right. I said it. Yep, absolutely. If you don't believe me, just go ahead and sit in here. Sit down, get your popcorn, get your drinks ready, because I got a nice little dialogue for you. First of all, would that not be a nice storyline? You got your regular storylines like, Tom Brady, the GOAT era, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay does it again. Then they bring up the whole Bill Belichick and Patriots dialogue and all this yada, yada, yada. Or you can bring up the Patrick Mahomes dialogue, the turning of the shifting of the gears, the Patrick Mahomes against Brady thing, he's back, he's normal, a new dynasty, that yada yada yada. But then you look and you think around the NFL, what other NFL team would have a good storyline winning the Super Bowl? I mean, I would have used the Packers, but nobody knows if Aaron Rodgers is playing, which is my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now. But just saying, but I mean, they don't have a storyline. But then you start thinking, all biased storylines aside, you look at the Indianapolis Colts. Look at all that the Colts have been through. Just look at it. Just think about it. You had the Peyton Manning era. We had Peyton Manning, got hurt. We wound up getting rid of him. Then he won it in Denver. So then that happened. We get Andrew Luck. We had him retired in the middle of the night. Preseason game. Shocked the world. We go through journeys of quarterbacks. The Matt Hasselbecks of the world, the Josh Freemans, the Ryan Lindleys, the Jacoby Brissetts. Now we have a new quarterback in Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is a Super Bowl champion. He is trying to come back and go back to regular form than what he did in that 2017 year of his MVP form. And alongside of him is his former offensive coordinator of the Super Bowl winning champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now he is the head coach of the team, and nobody knows Carson Wentz better than Coach Frank Reich. They both joined forces and built a dynamic roster all together that took about 2 to 3 seasons to be nearly complete. They add DeForest Buckner after his Super Bowl run in San Francisco. They are led by Darius Leonard. They have a young cornerback core with the veteranship of TJ Carey and Xavier Rhodes. They have young safeties in Kari Willis and Julian Blackman, who was a flat-out stud. And now they have an all-pro offensive line. They signed Eric Fisher in the offseason. And now the offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. They have a dynamic duo running back core in Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor. A wide receiver core with a veteran presence of bringing back T.Y., who was trending worldwide on social media platforms. It even made the news. It made the Pat McAfee show, ESPN, NFL Network, hashtag bring T.Y. back home. And now they have a rising star in Michael Pittman Jr., who is a fan favorite. You have four number 2 wide receivers that can get you over 300 receiving yards, and then they are led by the veteran wide receiver, who has to be T.Y. Hilton, who led the league in receiving yards before. All these things are just matchmaking storylines. And then you look at the tight end core, who is led by Jack Doyle, former Pro Bowler, who is teaching the veteranship of Mo Alley-Cox and the rookie Kylan Granson. This is a storyline made in heaven. Now you may ask me now, who will we be playing in this Super Bowl that the Colts are going to make? Well, let me tell you. You wouldn't want to play Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, the rival of the Indianapolis Colts? I would love to do something like that. And then you might start thinking, well, maybe the Buccaneers might not make it, because that's not my prediction. I would love to have a storyline, something like this. The Los Angeles Rams destroys the Indianapolis Colts in the season rivalry, but they meet back up again in the Super Bowl, and we happen to pull it off. The TV ratings will explode. Aaron Donald versus Quentin Nelson in the Super Bowl. Who wouldn't want to see that? Who wouldn't want to see that? That would be glorious. I would love to see a battle in the trenches in the Super Bowl. Colts versus Rams. Game 2. It'll have, the media will be all over it. It's a new face. It's not the same teams as usual. I will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Nobody wants to see Tom Brady in the Super Bowl again. Nobody. You can't tell me nobody in the comment section. Nobody wants to see Tom Brady. Nobody wants to see Patrick Mahomes. And just look at the road that the Colts have to go through. They got to go through Baltimore. They got to go through Kansas City. They got to play Tennessee twice a year. We might play them 3 times this year, including the playoffs. All these teams we got to go through in the AFC. Very tough fight. And then you go after a good year of fighting all the good teams out of the season. You got to play one more NFC team in the Super Bowl. You don't think we can pull that off? I think the Colts in the Super Bowl is a great storyline, and it's a match made in heaven. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't. Carson Wentz story all over the media is being drawn. Coach Frank Reich goes down as a good coach. Ballard is a genius. You know, Dale's coming back. He got drafted early and he was hurt. Kwity Paye can be the focal point after he got drafted, and we say we need a pass rush. Hey, look at it. Look at it on the bright side. You know, when we got Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, those dudes was a dog. They got those guys out of the draft for pass rushes for only one reason, to get the quarterback. That was the issue for the Colts. Before they drafted Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney, our problem was stopping the quarterback and applying pressure on the edge. And when we got them, we wind up getting to a Super Bowl and beating the Chicago Bears. Now look at this storyline. We get Kwity Paye. Why? Because we have a pass rushing issue. So this can be another sequence. Would you love to see Darius Leonard hosting that trophy over his head? Kenny Moore hosting a trophy over his head. Carson Wentz, written story 1,000 times already, hosting a trophy. Coach Frank Reich actually gets the job done as a head coach, hosting a trophy. Indianapolis, celebrated, parade, all these things Indianapolis can go through. The storyline is written. We are the underdogs. Underdog stories are always great. The Giants' underdog story, even though they won twice, but the Giants' underdog story was glorious. They beat the best team in the NFL. They were undefeated. You telling me the Colts can't do that with a decent record? We don't have to have the best record in the NFL. We don't have to have the best record in the AFC. We can still make the Super Bowl. We got to be honest here. This team is ready for the Super Bowl. It is. You can't tell me not. Oh, we don't know how the cornerbacks are going to play. Oh, the linebackers, Bobby Okereke filling in Anthony Walker Jr. shoes. We're not sold on the edge rush. Well, nobody is sold. No team right now besides the Rams, in my opinion, who is just loaded on talent. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. But besides the Rams, there is no other team that I can think of that is bound to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not even putting the Chiefs in there. The Rams is the only team I see that is perfect on paper that can make the Super Bowl. Point blank, period. But when you look at the AFC, there are so many teams that can make it, it's ridiculous. We got at least 3 to 4 teams that can make the Super Bowl coming out of the AFC. And the Colts are one of them. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Can the Colts make the Super Bowl? And if they do, who would you want to play? Let me know your whole thoughts in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.